Nagtatalumpati po si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa Malacanang sa awarding ng Inspiring Filipina Entrepreneurs 2017 ng Go Negosyo. Panoorin po natin.
Thailand and the Republic of Singapore. Executive Secretary Salvador Medaldia, Secretary Ramon Lopez, Mr. Joy Concepcion, Senator Villar, Ma'am, magandang gabi po. Awardees of Go Negosyo's Inspiring Filipino Entrepreneurs of 2017, members of the business community, honored guests, fellow workers in government, my beloved countrymen. Nagmamadali po kayo? Are you in a hurry? Because if you are, there's 1.5 page of speech. Malalaki pa. I can finish this in 1 minute. And so you can go on with your merry ways. Bulatik mo na ito. Minsan totoo, minsan hindi. But I would just like to read, then maybe pitch in my experience with negosyo and mga mothers. Basahin ko lang muna to give justice also to the guys spend time preparing the speech. As today's women are given more equal opportunities and roles in society, equality is more pronounced in our present time. More Filipinas are becoming leaders of their respective industries, contributing significantly to their institutions and making remarkable major strides that uplift the living condition of their families and communities. We are gathered here today to celebrate the success of the 26 Filipina entrepreneurs who have not only realized their potentials as trailblazers in the fields of micro, small, and medium enterprises, but also help other women to develop their abilities. I congratulate all of the awardees for your hard work and optimism, the seed of hope and determination that you planted at the onset of your economic endeavors have borne fruit. Your achievements as well as your positive outlook in life now serve as an inspiration to other Filipinos to explore their own road towards empowerment and a better life. As our country continues to be the leading APEC economy, where many of the businesses are owned by women, I hope that you will remain a vital partner in nation building. Further honed by your craft, grow your enterprises and nurture the sectors you serve. These will create a great impact on our country's ongoing transformation. The awards and recognition that you have received today will be your legacy to your family, business group, and locality. May you share with them your secrets to success, the positive attitude that made you win your battles, and the principle that should not only be about can-dos, but also must-dos. As this event coincides with the commencement of the National Women's Month, I ask you to continue achieving greater heights and to never stop making a difference in society. Together, let us make change work for women and make women work for change. Again, congratulations at mabuhay kayong lahat. Now, I'd just like to say something very short. I made only about a few promises. You can count it by the fingers of your hands when I ran for this position. I remember having said, I will suppress corruption, then I will also suppress drugs and criminality, which has been really pulling us down ever since, and allow the economic managers, the bright ones, to join me and to work for the country's welfare. And then I remember the 5th during the presidential debates, and we were asked if you would allow the burial of Marcos in the libingan ng mga bayani. And I said yes, and Binay too, but the others did not. Now the reason why I really said I will allow is because I'm a lawyer, and we are simply told, as any lawyer here would tell you, that you do not go beyond the ordinary meaning of the word. If you are allowed to be buried because you're a soldier, then we are not supposed to go beyond the word of soldier. If Marcos turned out to be a coward, if he was not really up to it in fighting, or he didn't participate at all. But the problem that he was really a soldier. And of course, he is eligible. And the other is president. And Marcos was a president. He was ahead of me. I don't know where he was at the time. But maybe in the so many times that he spoke about the nation and made important announcements. So he deserves to be there. Now, the raw cause is that I'm at the receiving end of allowing it. Well, that's the duty of the president to enforce the law. Now, kung may magalit sa akin, if I have a place there reserved for me, you can have it. I'll give you my space at the libingan ng mga bayani. I'd be glad to be burned and then just placed between my father and mother. Okay lang yun sa akin. Now, let me dwell on corruption. I don't know how you perceive me or how you look at me, but ako po'y taga Mindanao lang, and a very small town mayor. And I never really expected also to win. That is why I do not have political debts. Sa totoo lang, wala talaga. There were about Aimee, because talagang magkaibigan kami. Then I have another lady in Mindanao, kasi sa Tagalagang nagkaibigan kami. Hindi yung ibig na pag-ibig, hindi kaibigan. Pero pwede na rin yung isali kasi later on, nag-ibigan nga kami. Then we have Abet of Bataan. That's all. Wala akong congressman, wala akong governor. Kaya ngayon, nasusunod ko ang gusto ko. Now about corruption. The only reason why we are really into this kind of quagmire, year in, year out, is also because of the Filipino. The Filipino is not assertive. And that is why ito namang mga tagobyerno na talagang sanay na at every instance or at any instance or whatever the instance may be, if there is the opportunity for the asking, talagang gagawa yan. But if the Filipino becomes assertive, as I am urging everybody to do it, is when you are not supposed to spend for anything more than what is required by law, just simply, shit, I do not want to give you anything. Well, sabihin mo na, in his office, doon sa Pasig, we were listening to the president. And I said that pag humingi kayo at hindi naman kailangan kami magbigay, either sampalin kita or sipain kita or create a scene. Make a scandal. I will get wind of it and we will do something about it. There is the program of 8888 right after the news in the morning. If you encounter any of these scalawags, simply just dial the number 888, place your complaint, name the official if you want, You need not name yourself, and I will take it from there. And sa airport, I hope it's being followed kasi I'm monitoring everything also. There's no opening of the bags. No more. Wala na. I told them. Because anyway, when it is, when the baggages are offloaded, it passes through a tunnel and there's an X-ray there. I think dalawa. So from there, everything can be seen if there's a contraband or a prohibited item. So pagdating dyan sa harap mo, hindi na kailangan buksan yan. And especially, kaming mga mayor noon, mga congressman, we were just waved through. Never mind how many bags we were tagging. Pero yung mga maliliit, yun naman ang dapat talaga hindi na sana buksan, yun ang tinatamaan. So my rule is, do not open unless you have something there. At saka wala na yung kukunin mo yung mga perfume, isa, dalawa, tatlo. That's robbery. That is extortion. Ayaw ko kasi yung graph. Kaya nung maliit pa ako, kawatan ako. Kaya ako binubugbog talaga ng nanay ko kasi I lie, I rob, whatever, kung ano sa bahay. Hindi pa uso ang shabu noon, pero pinagbibili ko na yung mga sala, ang dinner set niya para karoon ng pera maglayas-layas. But unless you help me, kayong mga Pilipino, do not be offended. Kayo yung noon masigi ganon. To Pilipinas, ganon, ganito, ganito. Now is your time to do it. You can just do it by simply slapping the guy in front of you asking for money. Ako nang bahala. Sasampa lang naman niya. Ako na magbayad ng 25 pesos lang yung slander by deed. You slander by deed, by overt acts. Tsaka, learn to insist on the right. Now, in the past, in my cabinet, especially NEDA is known for this, my God, used to take them about 2 to 3 years to process papers. Sa aming panahon, we have agreed with Mingbong, the Executive Secretary, Secretary Lopez, na we should only give ourselves, including the Office of the President, 1 month. 1 month is 1 month. It's either approve or disapprove, palabasin mo. Basta 1 month. Na itong mga directors na to, kaya naman you'd be surprised why there are so many military men that Gloria, Pinoy, and I, na tanhawa na rin ako. I'm just also giving a warning. Itong mga sa gobyernong matagal na, hindi naman lahat. Pero because of the time that you have served there, just like in prison, you have become indolent. At ang trabaho ninyo mahinang-mahina, ay itong mga direktor na to, either they are present in the morning or absent in the afternoon, or altogether you are not there to do your work. I'm only giving you 15 days. And down the line, I hope that the governors and mayors are listening because, you know, I can sanction you. I can suspend you. I can reprimand you. I can even dismiss you. So please join the bandwagon of just being on the right side now. 3 days. Sa Davao kasi 3 days ang permit. It used to be that there is a permit for the building, another permit for the fire clearance. Now it's merged into one. When the building is inspected, with it should be the inspection of the safety sa sunog. Why? Kasi kung magpunta pa doon sa bombero, mangyawa kayo, pinapabilihan pa ninyo ng fire extinguisher. It used to be, it's odious. Actually. Hindi lang ninyo alam yan, pero ang tingin ng publiko is, it's really an odious practice actually. Stop it. Na ngayon, I have placed there, Paildon, Dulay. Yun yung pinaka-nakita ko. It's very hard to look for honest guys in this world. Maniwala kayo. And you're doing well. Yung nahuli sa corruption, well, sabi ko sa kanila, the first whiff of corruption, it need not be true. I'm sorry, you have to go. Kasi hindi naman mga mo yan kung walang suggestion, walang parinig. And that's what happened to a guy who was with me since 1988 when I became mayor. I've been mayor for almost 23 years in Davao. I've never lost an election actually. I was once a congressman and a vice mayor once upon a time. Tuloy-tuloy ako hanggang presidente. Yung dito na sa presidente, medyo parang nasubrahan ko yung ambisyon ko sa buhay. I'll be frank. Hindi naman ako mahiya magsabi na totoo. Si Merlo sa Department of Trade. It's never my intention to be somebody more than just being mayor. Ewan ko kung anong nangyari, basta, well, but for one thing, kami kasi nakalinya doon sa nobody was talking about Mindanao. You know, guys, if you do not take care of this problem, I would place it on equal footing with the drug scourge. You know, this can tear us apart and cause a fissure or breakage of the Republic of the Philippines. Mabutit na lang sa panahon ko, if you have the time just to listen para maintindihan ninyo, the Communist Party of the Philippines have agreed, again, to talk. They're the ones who are now insistent that we resume the peace process. Bumigay ako dahil isip ko naman kasi, hindi ako pwedeng magpasuplado. I'm fun at it really, yung pasupladuhan. Masuplado ako na tao pero these are not really the kind of things that I should be applying my personal ego trip. Because as president, it is my job to seek peace for the nation. We've been fighting the communists for 50 years. Been telling them, you want another 50 years of fighting? You think we can afford it? Ang historical injustice which has to be corrected until now. Ang Mindanao. And yung mainline rebels, the MINF, nor is just there are things which are waiting to develop. It's developing to develop fully, then we can start the talks. And the MI, okay na sila. So, were it not for the ISIS, okay na sana tayo. We're on talking terms. There is at least peace. Well, we never run out of problems. I really do not know what God has planned for this planet. Pumasok naman yung ISIS. And ISIS has anointed Pilon to be the point man of the ISIS in the Southeast Asia. They have plans to build a caliphate. Okay man sana yan kung gusto ng tao. Problem is with the track record of slaughtering men, women, and child, and everybody else, that thing is not acceptable to the entire country, to the Filipino. Pero yung iba okay na. So, maganda na sana. At least I have complied with my promise. We are talking to everybody. The traditional enemies of the state are there talking with us. I said, were it not for this extremism, which I cannot really stomach, and which I will refuse to talk. Hindi ako pwedeng makipag-istorya dyan sa mga yan. That's one that's bugging us. But overall, ang pinangkaano dyan is drugs. 2 minutes. Drug has affected 4 million Filipinos. Shabu, it's a chemical, is a very virulent thing that 6 months to 1 year use of constant use of Shabu will cause your brain to shrink. And if it has shrunk, then rehabilitation is no longer possible. Now, with the confirmed 4 million, lahat na nag-surrender. When I was mayor, I thought that it was really something that was just an ordinary neighborhood, sa kanto na yan. But ako naman kasi, I adopt an iron grip sa Davao noon. And as a matter of fact, I said, do not go into Shabu. Do not destroy my country. Do not deprive us of our daughters and sons. Because I will kill you. Do not destroy the future of my city. Because I will kill you. And when I became president, I simply said, ganun. I will kill you. Because, our sons and daughters, hindi naman kami mayaman eh. Mga working student lang, sama-sama lang kami nga sa dormitoryo noon eh. Hindi kami yung anak ng mga mayaman na may kotse dito. Nag-aral talaga lang kami dito para to get a good education. Pero, naging mayor ako. Huwag mong sirain ang bayan. Talagang papatayin kita. I might not be the most patriotic guy in town. My mama is a mestiza Maranao. My grandfather was really Chinese from Fujian. Pero ang tatay ko, Bisaya. Kung maghanap man na pinaka-Pilipino dito sa kwartong ito, ako. So do not fuck with my country. Because I will really kill you. Ngayon, sabi ng mga, tingnan mo, itong mga newspaper. Sabi, marami daw akong pinatay. Remember, I said, I will kill you. I did not say I will order the police or the military to kill you. For life's sake, I have not killed anybody until now. Ay, patayin kita. Ako. Ay, patayin kita. Wala akong sinabi na, but anyway, kung nandyan naman yan, then that's it. And I will never allow any policeman or soldier to go to prison for obeying my order. My order was not, ganitong order ko. Seek out, hunt for them, arrest them if it is still possible. But if you are confronted with a violent resistance, and you think that your life is in danger, shoot them dead. And I said, the problem with Mayor Duterte is that poor people are dying. Shabu industry is a conspiracy of all. Kung mayroong Shabu, walang runner, walang kita yan, at hindi mapabili. Kung may mga runner na wala namang Shabu, wala rin. But you have to destroy the organization, the apparatus itself. It cannot be stopped by just doing away with the source, with those who produce it, and leaving behind, letting them free, itong mga runners. And I said, ang mga NGO has been complaining that rich and poor alike are being killed. So I'm sorry. I told you, drop this Shabu. You want to end the killings in this country overnight tomorrow? All you have to do is to drop it tonight. and heaven will be tomorrow. Ngayon, ang headline ng Inquirer, the poor will be killed. Sila yung nag-una, sabi niya, yung mga mahirap na mamatay. Then when you respond to a statement, they came up with a headline, putang inang basura talaga ng itong mga oligarchs, pati itong mga elite, mga putang ina ninyo. Sabihin ko sa inyo. You try to, if you lose, if your candidate loses, you become virulent trend. Now, election, Inquirer pati ABS-CBN. Mukhang pera kayo eh. Talagang mukha ninyo pera. Why? You publish 211 million or garbage. If I have that money now and you are all influentials to find it out, even if I have half of it, I will resign as president. If any of my grandchildren are involved into the slightest corruption, I will step down. Pero kasi kayong mga mayaman na mga oligarch, nasanay kayo magtingin ng tao, na lahat ng tao tingnan ninyo, mas mabuti, even the opinion writer sa higher evaluation of himself, napakakurne naman ninyong putang ina. Makakala ninyo, mas marunong kayo sa mundo. You're publishing garbage and everything. And we tried to answer, we didn't get the space. Basta gusto lang ninyo yung space ni yung kandidato, yung putang ina kaduwag noon. You think he'll be able to control his Siabo? Sus Mario Sebo. When his military aide was the very first one that I fired for being connected with Siabo. Tingnan naman ninyo yung utak niya. But ako, I do not, because, you know, journalism is so it's always antagonistic yan. That's the role. Pero huwag ninyong sobrahan niya, yung slant, baka pagkabaho naman ninyo, kayong mga preto, kayong mga lopet. You're full of shit. Tell you. Ako makasabi niyan, wala akong utang, wala akong tinanggap sa inyo. Let's check kayo. Even the businessman. I ran on my own. What I had was just a few millions. I do not owe nobody nothing. Kaya ko mag-bullshit at isa iyo. Keep on harping iyo. Isa rin mga bugok. Pero in their latest communication, they suggested na to put up clinics of Siabo, heroin, and cocaine. Tarantado talaga itong... You know, you try to solve the problems with your own country using what is the culture there and what is the... Pati mo, bakit may utos sa akin? Then you want me to go to prison? Prison? America, shouting about prison. They wanted me to be prosecuted before the International Criminal Court. When I read it, hindi sila membro. Why? Because boss would go to jail. Why? Kasi kung nagpirma sila, boss would be under the jurisdiction. He invaded Iraq under the pretext of weapons of mass destruction when there was none at all. Then they invaded a country, Panama, took out the president, placed him inside the prison to face trial and a serving term in New York. Kita mo ang Amerikano, kaano kabastos. Tapos sila yung mga, may namatay dyan. And so, who will now answer for this 4 million? At a conservative number, I'll place it about 700. Who will answer for that? Who will answer for the injustice that was done to my people, to my countrymen? Sinong butang inang birahan ko dyan? And to think that if they are crazy, if they committed the crime of raping the girl, you know, you count You better go sa computer ninyo. There were 77,000 deaths connected sa drug before I became president. Sabi na ilang patay? 4 million? Puta. Ano pinatay yung mga mayor doon in Ambos, tapos, why? You grieve for this son of a bitch? He was running the show and making crazy out of the Filipinos by the thousand. And you crave for this. Magkabuti ito magkaintindihan tayo. Putang ino niya. I am nobody's... I will do what I want because after all, sabi ko. Sabi nga, Duterte, because gusto niya magdiktador, pwede nga umalis ngayon. Hindi lang nakakaya. Sabi ko nga, if you think that I'm exceedingly proud or happy that I'm not president, no, I'm not. Tell you frankly. Tell you what? I do not need it at this time of my life. I'm 72. I should be retiring. Ngayon, kasalanan ko kung bakit ako tumakbo. That's a problem. Still trying to find out if I want to hang myself or not. Pero, he wants to be dictator, martial law, tapos mag-parade-parade dyan, wasting your time. It's all here. In that few words, few sentences, it says, in a nutshell, that I, as president, is under obligation to protect and defend the Filipino nation. Wala akong pakialam. That is the long and short. I have to preserve the nation. Wala akong kasi nga mahirap kami. Yun nga yung mga anak namin, yun yung magbili nga ng oxygen, medisina namin. Buti kayo kung meron kayong mga blue insurance, purple or what. Kaya ako sabi ko, you burn me after I die because that's the most cheapest way to do it. Ilang Pilipino mawalaan ng anak yan? Sino nga magpakain nitong mga to? But do you have, unless you're in Davao, the home for the aged there is very, very, very extremely good. And on top of that hill, there's a 33 million facility for women who are victims of incest. They live there together with their children. O kung sa Davao ka, ay kung sa ibang lugar ka. Ayan ang problema ng Pilipinas. Sumusobra kasi ang media. Binababoy na nila. So kung ganon, I have a government station here, PTB4. How do you suppose if I get 1 hour? Puputahin ko kayo araw-araw. At istorya ko yung mga buhay ng anak ninyo. I mean, wag niyo masyadong sobrahan because hindi naman ako magkomentado, but I will give you your dues also. Wala mamula sa amin, mahirap man kami. Kaya kung kalkalin ko yung mga buhay ninyo, mga anak ninyo, I'm sorry to, talagang smarting ako. Now is kasi nandito kasi si Ramon Lopez, time for me to bullshit the Lopez, total hindi man siya Lopez. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'd like to congratulate the hardworking, enterprising women. You know, I lost my father when we were young. I was just 56. I was just in sa AB ako noon. And I thought that I would never really complete my studies. Nanay ko suffered 1-year depression. She could not stand up. She was sleeping all the time. But when she finally regained her composure, we were into sa lumber, So may sawmill kami, may ice plant kami. Dandahan niyang minorgage, tapos napatapos niya kami. But nawalok siya dahil sa kamatayan ng tatay mo. But she was also a businesswoman. Ice plant, pati lumber. And that enabled us to finish our study. Just in time. After that, medyo na-dissipate na rin kasi marami kami anak na estudyante. Alam ng mga taga-Davao yung history na. So, talking of women, the empowerment of women, ako ay more than losing my father. Talagang I grieve today. And yet, araw-araw ako noon pinapaluhod sa altar. Ganon talaga. Almost every day. Three times a week, I kneel before the altar. Yung Jesus Christ sa altar namin nakaganon parang Father, forgive them, imploring. Ngayon yung mapunta ako doon for the few times. I do not want to go home to the ancestral small play. Si Jesu Cristo nakaganon na. Kasi looking po me. Kasi sinabi ko sana, Lord, pareho talaga swerte natin. Parang gumanon siya, tama ka. Go there and be the president of this country and kill all the idiots. Maraming salamat po.